What is poppin', y'all? It's your boy Steezy Smith back in the building. You see the setup, you see the couch. You know what time it is. That means it's time for another segment of my Steezy Sleepers, Week 10 edition. Let's get right into it, y'all. But wait, there's more. Real quick, Team Steezy, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free to hit that button. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you aren't subscribed. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're 50 away from 1,000. The goal is to hit 1,000 by Thanksgiving. And last but not least, be sure to follow the extension of our YouTube on Instagram at Steezy Smith. Let's hop right into my sleepers, y'all. All right, look, y'all. I understand last week's picks didn't go very well. Steezy, but you said to start Jermichael Hasty last week, and he gave me 3.3 fantasy points. Alright, look, I get the concern. I started Jermichael Hasty too, and he gave me 3.3 fantasy points. But that's fantasy football for you. Before we begin, please be sure to bring out your mobile devices and follow along so you can see exactly what I'm saying. For the first Steezy Sleeper of the week, Week 10 edition, the honor is going to go to Los Angeles Rams quarterback Jared Goff. He is currently ranked 18th, and I have him as my sleeper at the quarterback position because, simply put, he's going up against my Seattle Seahawks. And as much as I hate to say it, a quarterback and the Seattle Seahawks defense usually equals a field day. And so with Jared Goff going up against the Seattle Seahawks defense this coming week, I think that is a very, very tantalizing matchup for Jared Goff. And I think that he has the ability and the chance to capitalize and provide you guys with the top 10 week this coming week at the quarterback position. Seattle is not only ranked 32nd in terms of fantasy against opposing quarterbacks, they rank dead last in passing yards and are 30th in points allowed. Last week, they let Josh Allen obliterate that defense to the tune of 31 for 38 for 415 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown for 4 total touchdowns. Josh Allen looked like the second coming of Joe Montana, for crying out loud. The Seattle Seahawks defense is very talented. Don't get me wrong. We have a whole lot of personnel. Carlos Dunlap is just now coming in. Jamal Adams has missed a whole lot of games, and he's just now getting back into the fold. There's still a whole lot of other guys that haven't yet played for the Hawks. Michael Kendricks, Damon Harrison. And so I think that as the season progresses, that defense is going to get a lot better. But for now, in terms of fantasy, Jared Goff is going to have a very, very great week this coming week. Seattle's defense happens to be one of the best at stopping the run, and I think that this matchup screams shootout. I don't see Seattle losing this game, but with that said, that doesn't mean that they aren't going to give up a whole lot of yardage and a whole lot of points. If you got a quarterback on bye this week named Patrick Mahomes or Matt Ryan, which in my case, I have Patrick Mahomes in one of my leagues, and so I'm currently looking for a backup quarterback, or at least a quarterback to fill in for this week. Look no further than Jared Goff, who has the easiest matchup for opposing quarterbacks in terms of fantasy at least. So if you're looking for a quarterback this week and you're in dire need, look no further than Jared Goff, because quite honestly, I'm going to start Jared Goff myself. Moving on to my Steezy Sleeper number 2 of the week at the running back position, we got Baltimore Ravens running back we got running back Gus Edwards of the Baltimore Ravens. And now look, his value totally hinges on whether or not Mark Ingram returns this week. So if Mark Ingram comes back, he's going to have almost no value. But until then, he's going to have a whole lot of value, and I think that this week he can provide you with the top 10 week at the running back position, with the Baltimore Ravens heading to New England to play the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football, and that defense has been absolutely reeling in terms of their run defense. That defense has been struggling in the last couple of weeks, especially against the Buffalo Bills a couple of weeks ago. They let Devin Singletary and Zach Moss run all over them. That defense just has not been the same all year long. I mean, for crying out loud, the Jets did pretty well running the football last week, and so I have no doubt in my mind, one of the best teams at running the football, the Baltimore Ravens, will do a great job of running the football this week, which they've been doing all season long, and Gus Edwards is going to stand to benefit because of that. Last week against the Indianapolis Colts, him and J.K. Dobbins practically had the same amount of carries, but what Gus Edwards has working in his favor is that he's the back that they use at the goal line. While Lamar Jackson is always a threat to score goal line touchdowns, Gus Edwards is their next back of choice when it comes to the goal line. And they both had 2 catches last week, and so I think if you're looking for the best running back of the duo, I would go with Gus Edwards, simply because he's been with the team longer, he's been in the system longer, and he knows the thing or two about going up against weak run defenses, and he's able to take advantage of that. Just a couple of weeks ago, against the vaunted Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Steelers defense, that duo ran for a combined over 100 yards, or at least damn near 200 yards. And so if you're looking for a running back this week, there aren't too many running backs on bye, but if you need a running back that has plug and play potential, one that could potentially give you a top 10 week, look no further than Gus Edwards. I'm definitely looking to add him in every single league of mine where I need a running back. And so for my second Steezy sleeper of the week, we're gonna go with running back Gus Edwards of the Baltimore Ravens. Last but not least, for my third Steezy sleeper of the week at the pass catching position, look no further than wideout Antonio Brown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look, I know the name Antonio Brown definitely rings a bell. He's been one of the best wide receivers in all of football for the last who knows how many years, at least in the years that he's been in the NFL playing. But I think that after his first game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week against New Orleans Saints, in which he finished with 3 catches on 5 targets for 31 yards on a limited number of snaps, I think that bodes well for his future outlook in Tampa Bay. I understand there's a whole lot of pass catchers out there: Gronk, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and they have a horde of running backs: Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, and of course you got the GOAT throwing them all the football, and so there are a whole lot of mouths to feed. But when you look at the fashion that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost last Sunday night against the New Orleans Saints, they got flat out embarrassed. I personally chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I had some money on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and so to see them fall flat in the manner that they did, that was totally discouraging. But now Tom Brady doesn't lose 2 games in a row, and so going into a matchup against the Carolina Panthers this coming Sunday, look for him to look to his new target, to his new shiny toy in Antonio Brown. Look for him to get him involved early and often, and look for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come out with a vengeance. I think that they're going to blow out the Carolina Panthers to the tune of 4 to 5 passing touchdowns, and I think that Antonio Brown is going to benefit. He's still one of the best wide receivers in all of football. Let him get into game shape, let him be healthy, and he's going to be a terror. He's easily the best wide receiver out of all the guys that they got in that room. It's going to take a lot for that to happen and for him to overtake all those guys. But for now, with Tom Brady going into this game with a vengeance, with him hanging his head down low after what just happened, after what we just witnessed this past Sunday, the massacre of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, look for them to come back this Sunday against the Panthers. Look for them to come out with the terror. Look for them to score a whole lot of points. Look for Antonio Brown to post a top 10 week for your fantasy team. So once again, my number 3 Steezy sleeper of the week goes to Antonio Brown, wide receiver of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Real quick, my 3 sleepers once again are quarterback Jared Goff of the Los Angeles Rams, running back Gus Edwards of the Baltimore Ravens, and wide receiver Antonio Brown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Am I tripping? Let me know if you got other sleepers for your fantasy teams this coming week. Once again, it is free to hit that subscribe button, and so if you could please help us, one of those 50 people to help us get to 1,000, we would greatly appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, that's gonna be it for today, folks. Steezy out. For more Steezy A. Smith content, be sure to check me out on my brother's channel at DJ Squabwell every single Saturday as we host a podcast on his channel from 10 a.m. to noon. And be sure to also be on the lookout for NorbCam's channel as every single Wednesday we host a roundtable discussing the Seahawks in an upcoming matchup that coming Sunday. You don't want to miss it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's going to be it for today, folks. And Steezy out.